Let's get it. Before I do anything, I'm going to throw up some beneficial information up on the screen right there. You're going to want to check that out, look into that. And yeah, I'm getting over a cold, so my voice sounds different. Yeah, let's go to new game here. Okay, this is a text-based RPG game, something I usually don't play. So I'm going to read you this, or not. You know, I'll just let you read that because, as I said, I have a cold. But everything else I probably will read because this is a text-based RPG. Again, I've never really played these types of games, so that's why I'm playing it. It's at least one reason. So you've probably read all that by now. Probably. I'll give you a little bit more time. You're probably down there at the bottom. And yeah, here we go. You can hear my fan in the background probably. All right, your main objective is to collect notebook entries, which will allow you to write a better book, meet people, explore places, gain experiences, be perceptive and inquisitive. Any information can be relevant. Any person can become your protagonist, the good guy. Write down everything that seems significant, interesting, and surprising to you. Yeah, I'll do that. Become a writer. Your flight is in a couple of hours. The prologue. Okay. Chapter 1. Home. Bitter home. The cursor is blinking on the white background of an empty page. Your flight is in a couple of hours. Let's go ahead and take a look at this art here. Here's our notebook. No entries. Tags. No tags. Okay, so I have a choice, I guess. That's pretty nice. I like that. Where did the cat go? Tags. Empathy. I've chosen such an emotional subject for a reason. I'm naturally an empathetic person. Told you. Where did the cat go? Suddenly I realized that I haven't seen Ingalls since the morning. I tried to recall if I gave him breakfast. His breakfast. I pop into the kitchen and find his bowl. It is full of kibble. I thought kibble was for dogs, to be honest. Where did the cat go? Do I need to like click? No. Okay. I will. No. Bookshelves? No. Bed? Where's the bed? I don't see the bed. In the backpack? Maybe. I doubt it though. Open the filing cabinet. Alright, we're going to search the bed. Because it's not on the screen. I searched the bed. It's in my top 3 most used pieces of furniture. And I have the statistics to prove it. At one point, I made a science-based ranking. I calculated that I am seated 91 out of the 160 hours in a week. I spend 49 hours lying down, and I stand or walk for the remaining 28 hours. If I were to trust arithmetic, my desk and my office chair are tied for the title of the most important piece of furniture in my life. The bed comes third. In fact, all other objects are of no use to me. That was a very weird read. I don't really know what I just read. But I read it. It was a bunch of numbers. But the cat's not here. I look elsewhere in the apartment. I'm done looking. Yeah, let's look elsewhere. I'm going to check the filing cabinets. This is where I keep all contracts and other company documents. If I've ever even printed anything of any significance to the world, this is it. Addenda, bills, invoices. When I think of myself, I think of a writer looking from a distance, though I live in the life of an accountant. I look elsewhere in the apartment. Yeah. Let's go with, I could start to panic because I don't know that they're in these two, so we're going to try backpack. I think the cat is in there. It's been lying in the middle of my studio for 2 days, surrounded by clothes, notebooks, a power bank, and some documents. They would take no more than 15 minutes to pack. Even so, I put it off. What am I afraid of? What am I running from? A trip to Africa is a dream come true, right? It's my door to the literary world. Ingalls is not in the backpack. We're going to have to keep looking for this cat. Let's scan my bookshelves. Ingalls has this habit of lounging on my books, pricking my conscience. Sometimes I feel like he uses my library more often than I do. For years, I have been experiencing a creeping decay of my passion for reading. I can't remember when I last read something for pleasure. Now, if I reach for a book, it's out of a sense of obligation. Bottom. Bottom is hidden behind the chair. Manuals and self-help books on how to write, how to structure a story, how to speak to your reader. Bought by the kilo during rare existential spurts of wanting to change. I usually read a dozen pages or so and never finish. I know how to write. My problem is finding something to write about. Let's go middle shelves. Fiction, mostly French and American, some Polish, dusty covers, even English does not come here often, and yet this is my favorite genre. When did I stop doing what I really like? And where did my cat go? How could I have lost him in my own apartment? Is such a simple task as taking care of a cat too much for me? Top shelf. The stories of refugees from Africa and the Middle East. They are mainly reportages and a few political analysis of the migration crisis. I don't know that that's how you spell that, or I've never read it like that. Each book full of scribbles on the margins and sentences underlined in a pencil. The cat's not here though. I look elsewhere in the apartment. We're gonna have to try the windows. The one place I thought he might not be. Maybe I accidentally left one open. A macabre vision of Engel's lifeless body on the courtyard pavement, crushed into bloody pulp, flashes through my brain. I check the kitchen, then the room. Everything is shut tight. I look elsewhere. Where else am I going to look? I start to panic. Is Ingalls missing? Ingalls is missing. And it had to be today, moments before Hala's visit. I can hear her comments already. How could you lose a cat in a locked apartment? With the underlying suggestion that she could take better care of Ingalls. She was always better at everything. She said from the start that I was unfit to have a pet, and now, of course, there's proof. She will triumph again. I feel sad or angry? Angry. No. Yeah, sad, actually. Deep down inside, I know it's true. Ingalls would have it better with Hala. He would be living in a bigger apartment and getting more attention. There's always something standing in the way of me spending time with him. I have a company to run, masterpieces, pieces to write, whatever. I have a hard time giving up my conscience for other humans, let alone a cat. I hear a meow. I feel something rubbing up against my foot. The fluffiness of the cat's fur. Yeah, that one. It reminds me of childhood, of some strange state of mind where unconditional happiness is possible. Without reason, without logical explanation, without any deeper cause, it's just a primal childlike joy. And the instant gratification I feel when I hear the fluff ball's velvety purrs. Now I can't help myself either, and I give Ingalls a scratch. First at the back of his neck, then on his head, and finally his favorite place which only his most trusted friends are allowed to touch. The fur on his face. Petting a cat resembles a trance or meditation. It rids the mind of any unnecessary thoughts. What is left is the pure physical act of direct contact between two living beings. I wait for a blissful purr. But it never comes. I scratch on. Silence. Ingalls seems unwell. He turns his head away and avoids my touch. At the same time, he doesn't attack me with his claws. He's not in the mood for playing either. He walks listlessly towards the radiator and snuggles down at the base, as if something were troubling him. Perhaps he senses that I'm about to leave. Yeah, that one for sure. There are a couple of hours left until takeoff. Does Ingalls understand what the objects strewn about the backpack mean? Is that why he seems depressed? I can only hope that Halo will make it up to him. As I wait for her arrival, I decide to spend the rest of my time at the apartment. Who reads the news? Packing. I'll be gone for at least 15 days, but I have to fit all of my stuff into a small backpack. A rainproof jacket, t-shirts, and underwear, my wallet, documents, toiletries, phone charger, and 3 notebooks take most of the space in the main compartment. I can just squeeze one book in. I'm still not sure which one I should choose. The Great Tide. Hunter Thompson's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Seen it. Edward Lemonov's It's Me, Eddie. This is actually a really good book as well. But I think we're going to go with The Great Tide. A nonfiction account of the narrator's journey to Lampedusa, which is brief but thick with content. The Italian island, 100 meters with a kilo at the beginning of the African coast, known for its surrounding turquoise sea and fabulous beaches, became a symbol of the migration crisis when hundreds of boats filled with refugees began reaching its shores. Although the book's just 130 pages long, I choose at the literary patron. Or should I bring it down? We're going to go with that. Because it's short. I've been reading it for several weeks now because it hurts my self-esteem. That word is more than just a journalist. Michalowski. He's a poet too, and it shows. He combines the succinctness and the precision of a lyrical phrase with hard facts, which intimidates me. What's the point of writing another book about refugees? If a work is thorough and complete as The Great Tide has already been written. My copy is full of underlined sentences and notes scribbled on the margins. I have to admit, though, that when I started, I would reach for my pencil every couple of lines, and then I stopped seeing the point. Otherwise, I would have to underline entire pages. Okay, let's see what tags we've got. Just empathy. And character. Yep, that's it. So we're going to press pause here and go back to the main menu and leave you wanting more of this demo. And I have to say right now that I think this is one of, if not the only, text-based RPGs I've ever played outside of Disco Elysium. I must say that I really enjoy this game. So I will throw up some beneficial information up on the screen for you to see right there of its current price and whatnot, and what you're actually saving from its common sale price. And yeah, I definitely recommend this demo as well as considering the full game. And if you like what you see, consider liking and subscribing for more content just like this, where we play both new and old games that you may not know about, as well as deals you may not know about. This was We, the Refugees, Ticket to Europe, the demo.